Hello, everyone. Welcome to Prep for the Night. I'm Jeff Walker.
And I'm Aaron Wallace, and we're coming to you from a very unusual location.
That's right.
In person and at my home.
And also, this is a special episode because we thought we had so much fun with icebreakers the last episode that we'll do a whole episode today as one giant icebreaker, right?
I'm just a little bit more nosy and really interested to see what you have to say about these questions.
And I'm a teensy bit nervous, but I think we can handle it.
Don't be nervous, because as long as you always stay prepped and you're all ready for any adventure. I mean, I've got my prepped. There we go.
Love it.
All right, so our first question for Would You Rather. Would you rather have sex while watching a steamy movie or while listening to seductive music?
Okay. Music is such an important part of my life. I've got to go with the music for me.
Okay. See, I'm going to go with steamy movie. I call that like, let me put on some background music. And that's normally what I mean when I'm doing that. I'm going to put on a steamy movie because sometimes it's the sound, like the actual sounds from the movie is kind of hot.
Okay, yeah. Okay. And that's your background music.
That's my background music.
Okay.
And also with the regular music, it makes me nervous because my music taste is all over the place. So 1 minute it could be like just do, just something really nice and sexy and then just turn to something totally random.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. And that could totally
just
kill the
ruin
mood.
The moment.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing like having a little bit of sexy time and then Avril Lavigne pops up with one of her sad songs. Not that I know that from experience.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on.
All right. Well, this one wasn't one of the questions I picked, but as I was reading that question, it's like, ooh, I like this one, and I want to know what you have to say. Would you rather only be able to have sex in cars or only be able to have sex in showers?
These questions, oh my gosh. Okay. Well, let me just preface the whole thing with I like to have sex in normal places.
Well, where's the fun in that, Jeff?
And water just creates problems for me. So, but then also gear shifts and steering wheels form problems for me as well. So I just don't. Okay, if you have a big enough car.
Yeah, you go to an SUV if you want it to be comfortable because
we are not in my little EcoSport or
I was going to say, I have done it in a car before, and that was the most uncomfortable, unsexy thing I've ever. I'm like, this is not what it looked like in those movies.
I mean, well, and my whole life has been small cars. I'm in a Ford EcoSport now. Beforehand, growing up, I was in a Geo Metro. I mean, it's basically one step away from a pregnant roller skate. So we ain't doing much in that space.
Worse is when my experience happened, I had a truck, so there was a truck bed there. You just didn't make it that far.
Now, showers?
I'm okay with showers. I mean, have you ever seen Showgirls?
Who hasn't seen Showgirls?
Well, a lot of people. That scene where they're in the water, just going at it. I'm like, Jesse Spano. You had too many caffeine pills right there. Because, girl, I showed John that movie because he'd never seen it, and he's like, we didn't make it through the whole movie because he's just like, I don't get this thing. I was like, you're not supposed to.
Yeah, don't try to get it. Yeah. You're not going to get it.
Okay.
Still a good movie to watch, though. Still kind of fun.
Love that movie. I don't know why.
Just take it for what it is, though.
Yeah, you can't watch it like with any realism,
right,
whatsoever.
Right.
All right. So now here's a very tough one. Maybe, would you rather have a threesome or a foursome? And remember, had my prep, so I'm ready for an adventure.
You are prepped for the night.
I am prepped for the night.
You just want to know what kind of night you're prepping for.
Exactly.
I have a very clear answer to this one. I have to go with the more the merrier, and here's why.
I fully support that answer.
Because if you talk to, I think if you talk to a lot of folks, they would say, Well, I don't know how I feel about a group sex situation because there's always somebody left out. If you have a foursome, then you've got somebody with somebody and somebody with somebody and nobody's left out.
See, I think as long as there's an odd number, like I'm for more the merrier, but let's always have an odd number. That way, no one can feel left out because there's always going to be that person floating around wanting to be part of it. I don't know that makes sense, but I just like if it's just
So
if
our
it's two
end
people,
goal-
if it's just four people, then there's the possibility of you to link up with someone, and then to me it just becomes two twosomes. But if there's an odd
Oh,
person
well, you got to
who's
have a
helping
bell,
Canal,
and then when the bell dings, you go to the new
okay,
partner.
so you're treating this like the speed dating. This is a speedsome, okay?
Well, yeah. I guess I've just been in, like a handful of threesomes maybe, and I think every time I'm in them, like, I feel weird. I feel like that third wheel a lot of the time. I mean, okay, just to be perfectly frank, so I get asked a lot to fulfill couples, daddies' fantasies.
You a
And
zaddy now? Did you
I'm,
move into zaddy stage?
I guess so. Apprehensively, right? I'm owning it now, but yeah. It wasn't a choice originally. And and it's great. I love that, I love that I can do this for people, but at the same time,
You're giving back.
it's
You're
like I'm
to the
giving
world.
back, and these people that I'm with, they have a special connection, right? And so then I'm over here and I'm just like, I don't have that connection. It's a little weird. Kind of wish I had somebody else that I could relate to in this situation. But I definitely see what you're saying. I definitely understand that.
I mean, I get what you're saying too, because the more the merrier, but I kind of almost want to know the merrier. Because I'm not, like, just hookups, I don't know. I've never had good, like, I'm too nervous.
Right.
Like, I always have to if there's a silence, I need to fill it.
Right. Right.
So, random hookups have never been good for me. But, as gay men know, we take friends with benefits very serious. No.
Or not, depending on who we're talking about.
Okay. So let's scroll. Let's see. I love these questions. To me, they're not icebreakers. They're getting to know you.
And I have to tell you in a minute, I'm going to say that I need that pad to go through some of those questions because I feel very much put on the spot here.
Would you rather never use sex toys again or never use a microwave again? I'm giving up sex toys because I can't cook. I need the microwave.
I did not see that coming. I
didn't either.
I thought it was going to be a sex toys and then something else to do with sex, and then you start talking about microwaves, and I'm like, what?
I know I kind of love how random it is, but I'd give up sex toys because I need that microwave.
Okay, so my old
That's how I made my lunch today.
So my old roommate, he would tell me repeatedly that the microwave causes cancer. So I guess if I bought into that, I would say that I would keep the sex toys and I would give up the microwave. And my current roommate is actually a really good cook, and he's vegan. And he's really good at making vegetables taste really awesome. So
when my husband's here, I eat better. I've never been one to cook. Like, I just can't. I'm impatient. Like,
yeah.
I don't even wait for the ding to.
Well,
I'm just like, I'm ready to eat now.
Okay, and here's the other thing, and we covered this in a previous episode. I really like a legitimate penis, and so these fake peni, they don't do that much for me. So I think I could give them up pretty easily and keep my microwave. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to my old roommate.
That's another reason why I'm just like,
Maybe I'm gonna get cancer. I don't know.
Sex toys can go because it's like it's just there. It's like I don't know.
It's a question of what do you want to put in your mouth? Do you want cooked food, or do you want something else?
Fair. All right. Would you rather have morning sex or late night sex?
Oh.
I like late night sex. I am not a person in the morning.
Are you a morning person?
No, I used to be. I don't know what happened. It changed. Like there will be times when I'm like, "Can I just give you an IOU? I'm not ready to make any movements. It's too early."
Well, let's do an inventory here. So, your breath is usually not good in the morning.
Exactly.
If I haven't had my coffee yet, you risk getting punched, slapped, kicked, and not in a good way. Mm-hmm. Not the way that you would want it. I am not a morning person whatsoever. However, that's a hard choice because... hey, you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go.
I'm a morning person if I haven't went to sleep the night before. Like, I'd be ready to go, like, let's do it.
Yeah.
But if I went to sleep and had slept a good 10 hours... Don't even try. You might as well just use your hand because I'm not moving.
So one of my favorite guys out there, he told me, he's like, well, it's never going to happen in the morning because I'm pretty regular. And I was like, okay.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Thanks for sharing.
Thanks for sharing.
I mean, that's, real, right?
Yes, that was just,
but to me, there's just something about like rolling over in the morning and then things start really slow and then all of a sudden they get heated. And at nighttime, the older I get, the more I'm like, to be continued.
It's almost like it's like you should have started before 10.
Or 9:45.
At least give once my melatonin starts kicking in.
Right, we've got our meds.
It's like, just took melatonin. Let's
Shelby
go.
Took
you
her
got
meds,
a few minutes.
So, yeah.
Ooh. Okay. This kind of goes,
You have to start almost every question off with, ooh.
Would you rather make out with a stranger or make out with your best friend? This is the one time. It depends. Is my best friend... I don't know. I've made out with my best friend.
I've had best friends. I've made out with them. I've made out with strangers. In both cases,
I've done both.
I didn't. It changed things, and it never happened again.
Mine have been we were all intoxicated, which does not make it,
Well, that's probably why it happened.
That is, you get intoxicated, you start playing a would you rather game. Next thing you know, you're making out with your friends.
Well, let me ask you this: when you made out with them, did you enjoy it, or did you think this is weird?
I thought it was weird because it was me and my two best friends. Like we did a 3-way kiss.
Oh, here we go with the threesomes. Okay. Should have had a fourth one, I'm telling you.
Well, there could have been. There were 2 other people there, but for some, I don't know what our boyfriends were all there with us. But I almost would rather kiss a stranger just because if it wasn't that good, I wasn't on my A game that night, they going to remember me. My best friend's going to know, like, he don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
I don't like thinking my friend has that thought.
Yeah, because I mean, you can say, "Oh, it's your best friend," but even your best friend, there's things you don't want your best friend necessarily to know or to talk about with them, or there's things you can make awkward. Yeah, I don't know, but see, there's a flip side to that for me because. I don't know. I like the emotional part. So, connecting with someone on an emotional level as a friend, I think would be more appealing to me than just some rando
See, yeah, it's
person. I think that the making out has the potential to be a lot more fun to me with someone that I know. Not necessarily my best friend, but someone that I have a deeper connection with than just, hey, you'll do.
I feel that. All right, I'm gonna move the iPad over to you and let you.
Ooh, I have the
I didn't
power.
even ask for the ones I picked, but I thought, you know what? I threw in some what I consider curveballs.
Okay, so here's one.
Oh, you didn't even have to scroll far.
Would you rather write erotica or make a sex tape?
Make a sex tape.
Wow. Okay. And your rationale, sir?
I feel like writing it, I just don't. My mind would. I'd turn into an '80s romance novels. His manhood thrust, and just because I remember.
I don't know. Is that necessarily 80s? I mean, I feel like
That's true. I remember one of my favorite movies is her mom's a writer and she's like has the tape recorder. Oh, that's good. His manhood thirsted, and that's just what I envision when I think of writing erotica. When I'd rather just actually don't. There's something about the camera that kind of makes it sexier. So I feel like a story is just not as fun.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I think I would just feel like a 9-year-old boy constantly if I was writing erotica.
Because I'd be giggling. I know I'd be giggling.
Well, or maybe a 9-year-old girl then in that case. Either one. Yeah, but I would not be... Okay, so here's the real question. Would you rather do an OnlyFans page with your partner, or would you make a sex tape together?
Well, if I did the OnlyFans, wouldn't I be making the sex tapes to put on the OnlyFans?
Well, like an OnlyFans, I think that would be like an ongoing presence and a page, and
Okay.
I guess in essence you'd be doing a lot of sex tapes or teasers for them.
I would probably want to use just for fans. I hear they have better.
Okay,
Better money.
caveat. Lord.
They give you more money on the back end, is what I heard.
I think for me, I would not want to do the whole sex tape thing because I think the whole thing with the sex tape is like, oh, this got leaked out and like.
But if you leak it yourself.
But then if you were doing just for fans, it's like you're in control because it's like, okay, I'm doing this as an expression for us as a couple, and we're
so you're defining sex tape as it's something you might just make that you keep privately, not the sex tape that you want.
I think that's because that's one of the questions that was in here, and I think
you're thinking like old school. We used to make a sex tape. You put it on the VHS. You hid it somewhere so no one else could find it.
Oh God, yes, and
never. I didn't.
I have found so many people's sex tapes.
Really?
Through the years, family,
Ooh,
friends.
Yeah, no, I'll pass there.
Yeah, well, that was the thing about VHS back in the day.
You didn't know what.
You didn't know what was on that VHS until you popped it in.
There were not thumbnails.
There was that little delay where it's like you can hear the machine working, and then all of a sudden it played, and then flip, and then you're like, whoa, 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 whoa! Why am I seeing that? No. Yes.
I've never found anyone's sex tape pre-digital age.
So I did find well, it wasn't OnlyFans or just
I was going to say I found some people where I knew that I found their OnlyFans. That's why I said pre-digital age.
I found a past partner on online. It was not known that was happening, and it was definitely not us together. It was
you weren't together at the time, were you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That's not how you want to find out.
No.
See, it's supposed to be a joint effort.
So that's what I mean. Like, this is prepare. So let's prepare together. Let's do this together. That's what I'm about. All right, I love this question. Would you rather have 10-hour tantric sex or 2 minutes of really rough headboard banging against the wall sex?
I'll go with the first option. I don't like to bang my head because I get nervous.
10 hours of tantric sex?
Sure. Just because there's been too many celebrities die nowadays when they just accidentally hit their head. And I don't want...
Really, their ass?
Okay, maybe. I know Bob Saget. Like, he...
Bob Saget was having
No.
headboard banging against the wall.
No, he hit his head...
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here
He hit
first.
his head on the headboard. And then I think he just didn't wake up or something. And so now, like, I have trauma of... You always hear these awful stories of people hitting their head.
I had an aunt that did that.
Okay,
she had not a heart attack, but like aneurysm or whatever, and it kind of like knocked her out. But then she hit her head on the shelf, and it clearly knocked her out.
See, so that's why I'll go with the 10 hours. I'll lose a lot of calories that way.
Okay, so I am not into. Did this say 10-minute? What did it say?
I think it's 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay, so 2 minutes. I'm not even getting ready for that. I'm not even like, I don't have the patience for that. I am not asking for a lifetime investment from a potential partner, but you can give me more than 2 minutes.
You can give him 5.
And and I also have to say, I think I've broken 5 headboards at this point in my life.
Good Lord. I haven't done that.
I mean, I gotta sell it, right? They want a daddy.
I guess so.
I'm gonna be a rip-roaring daddy.
Good thing I'm
Just
married.
watch out for your headboards.
Good thing I'm married. I don't have to worry about headboards anymore. It's like, yeah, I haven't broken any headboards. Just hearts. No.
Aww. Okay, so this one's classic, right? So would you rather be handcuffed or would you rather be blindfolded during foreplay?
Ugh. I'll go blindfolded. I don't like that. Okay, clearly I watch too many movies and television shows because all I can think about is someone handcuffing you and then them just dying.
Dying?
There's a movie on Netflix.
Morbid.
Like, she was handcuffed to the bed because he had a heart attack.
I feel like you could start any conversation, answer any conversation, start any conversation with, there's a movie on Netflix, ...
True. But
Okay.
that's what yeah. So I'd rather be blindfolded.
Okay, so, and have you been blindfolded before?
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of, like one eye or what?
Bought a little submissive dominant, is that what it, like, kit. Came with a little whip,
Okay.
blindfold, and handcuffs. Cheap stuff, though. But
Like a riding crop or like a whip, like from the circus?
more like just one of those that has little flaps, and you just...
Okay, yeah.
Still have it somewhere. But even came with a little, like, guideline, like, contract. I was like, ooh, how 50 Shades.
Whoa.
You know, you just had to, write in your name, so it wasn't that. But, yeah, I just didn't like the idea of... I don't like the idea of, like, not being able to at least try to defend
Okay,
myself.
so I don't know. So the specific question is handcuffs or blindfold, right? So I guess I have to answer that first. But let me also say, before I answer that, I love the idea of restraints, and I've actually bought quite a few restraints, but the restraints that I have are all like systems that are all using Velcro, and so like if you needed to get out of them, you could.
Okay, that would be different.
But yeah, so that part's different. I also don't like every time I see a pair of handcuffs, and maybe this is just like trauma I had from when I was a kid, and like my siblings used to put me in handcuffs, and they were the metal kind, and they would like leave marks on your wrists and like they hurt like heck. And I'm just like, I don't want to do any of that.
Yeah.
But if you're someone that wants to be restrained and you like that's fun and exciting to you, then those restraints have always seemed like they would be fun. I have not yet found someone that wants to, so here I'm just putting out a.
I would try the Velcro. I would have no problem trying the Velcro ones, but I just handcuffs or like chains of any kind.
But with so my answer would be blindfold as far as what would I want to be, because I actually love that. I love it when I'm blindfolded. And then I don't know about the hot wax thing. I haven't really done that.
I haven't
but
either.
like the tickling or the like grazing fingers over or like heightened sensitivity because you don't know where it's coming from and you don't know what to expect. I think actually, you know, and of course I always think that it's better with a partner that you're comfortable with, and so it just makes something new and kind of refreshes, and
yeah,
I love it.
I can't handle the tickling though. I'm too ticklish.
Too ticklish?
It would be just turn into like a laughing matter, and that's not right.
Oh yeah, see, no, like I don't understand. Like there's the videos, you know, the videos of like just somebody tickling somebody, and like that's erotic in a way. I don't understand it to that point.
That happened on Riverdale.
Everything's a TV
Everything's a show. Like I can bring it back to.
Is that on
something.
Netflix?
It is on Netflix actually.
Okay, so there's this show on Netflix.
But the gay
that
guy
explains my life.
The gay guy started working like he tickled people, and like it was a interesting storyline. Okay, this one's just to me funny because it's also going to be awkward. Would you rather be naked in front of your ex again, or let the person sitting to your left see you naked?
Let me turn around. I mean,
if your ex is already seeing you naked, why would you care if they see you naked again?
Yeah, that's kind of a dumb question.
I know. I just thought it was funny because or the person to your left. I knew you were sent to him. I sent.
Also, I don't care because I love being naked, and as most of my Instagram following would attest to, they've pretty much seen most crevices of my body. So,
would you rather be a top for the rest of your life or the bottom?
For the rest of my life?
For the rest of your life, you can only pick one.
My God, if I can lay off red meat and dairy, that's a while. So, sorry, got to get a Golden Girls quote in there where I can. Well, for me,
my answer is because I'm kind of lazy. Sometimes I'd rather be the top. For the rest of my life.
Oh, I did not see that coming. Because when you said I'm lazy, then I was just like, oh, I thought he was going to say he'd rather just be the bottom and just lay there.
No, I those videos online where everyone's like showing the bottom getting ready. It's like they're watching what they eat. They're doing all this stuff. And then the top's just like putting on a shirt. I always think those are hilarious because I'm like, man, that is true. Like, you just got to go if you're the top.
Okay,
Pretty
so
much.
For me, this is a hard question because I am like very, very verse and very, very proud of being truly very, very verse. I'm not just paying lip service to it. I'm so sick of guys being like, well, you have to be really clear because that's kind of confusing. And I'm like, there's nothing confusing about it. If you are verse, you are verse. If you're saying verse and you're not verse, then that's just wrong. It's not confusing. It's just you don't know what you are. But and I'd encourage you to find out who you are if that is indeed what you're dealing with. But anyway,
once you get on prep, and then go out and do it all.
Right.
And get you some Doxy-Pep too.
Yeah.
Because sex is always more fun when you know it's safer.
It is. That's very true. Very true. And you can't get away from the fact that, you know, if you're talking about unprotected sex and you are the receptive partner, you do have a higher risk. That's just the science of it, right? And it makes logical sense. But it should always be said and reminded that. But
some of us
don't worry about it.
Some of us made a B in biology, so it's good to be reminded about certain things.
It's good to be reminded about it, and it's also good to be reminded that there is help and there's prevention out there. There's prevention tools that we know works. PrEP and DoxyPep both are good tools to have in your toolbox, as our fearless leader likes to say. His prevention, HIV prevention toolbox or STD
Our
prevention.
toolbox just pink.
We should get a little prep for the night toolbox.
Oh my god!
It's like
yes,
we're like Luigi and Mario.
We're the prep team.
We're the prep team.
Yes.
There you go. I guess I need to answer this question. So yes, if I had to pick one to be for the rest of my life, if I was stuck being one, it would be bottom, because that feeling, there's nothing else like that feeling. And
the pleasure, pain of it all.
The pleasure of it and the feeling, the connected feeling that you get from it. I love topping, but I like topping for the pleasuring that it does for the other person.
You're a generous lover. They said that somewhere. I can't think of where I heard that. Probably something on Netflix. Okay. All right. Well, we will end with one last question.
Okay, you got to make it a good one if we're ending with this.
I just thought it was a good question to end with because,
okay,
all right, we've had our fun. So now, would you rather your hookup, would you rather your one night stand make you breakfast or pay for the Uber ride home?
Oh, well, the way I answer this is definitely going to tell you exactly what kind of person I am. What do you think?
I'm torn. If I live somewhere where I'm visiting somewhere that's cheaper and Ubers aren't too expensive, cook me breakfast. But if we met up in LA and I need to get to the other side, pay for my Uber.
This came up in the last episode, did it not?
It may have. That's trauma that has clearly stuck with me because that Uber was expensive as shit. It was like not
LA,
worth,
everything's expensive.
Yeah, it's like not worth the like 3% pleasure that was received.
So I'm going to say the breakfast, and honestly, I'm going to answer it that way, knowing that I don't think I've ever even experienced that ever, but that's kind of cool. I mean, yeah. So like, and I don't do hookups in the traditional sense of hookups. Like, somebody else may go with the intent of it being a hookup, but I'm always going to be with the intent of, I think there's potential maybe here to do something more than once and maybe have a conversation or find common ground with any, even if it's just one or two topics that we might share an interest in, so that we would have something to talk about over breakfast.
I would just tell the Uber driver, "Hey, spin through McDonald's, and I'll cover I'll cover it if you'll make the stop."
Wow.
This Uber was paid for, so
I'm not the only generous lover.
Yeah, that kind of probably sound like such an awful person.
Do you really want to end on this note?
Actually, that's the way the cookie crumbled. So, all right, Jeff, we have answered quite a few would you rather questions.
We have. This has been fun.
Learned a lot about you. A little shocking. No, I'm just kidding.
Is it really? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. But do you have any final thoughts as we end this episode?
Oh, my mind is spinning with a lot of thoughts. What about you?
Stay protected. And you can do that multiple ways. PrEP, which is on the EngagingArkansas.org website. You go there, we'll help get you set up for PrEP and DoxyPEP.
Okay.
And, of course, wear condoms.
Wear condoms, and you can get condoms
at Engaging Arkansas Communities. Look at that. It's
Ta-da.
funny how that works. It's funny how that works.
Love it.
So,
yeah. And also, don't forget, we've talked a lot today about would you rathers. And I think it would be fun to hear what some of our listeners would say to some of these questions. So we're going to be sharing those on our social media, on our Prep for the Night Instagram page. So for you listeners out there, go ahead and check us out on Instagram, which is just Prep for the Night with the number 4. Also our hashtag, same thing. And let us know what you think on some of these things. Do you agree? Do you have a different take?
Was my opinion just completely stupid? Which is a good chance it was.
There are no stupid opinions.
I haven't been known to make the best decisions in life.
But they're your decisions, so you should own them.
It's true. I just get into sticky situations.
There you go.
Literally.
So we'll see you online on our Instagram page.
Yes.
See you at the website. Check out PrEP. Get condoms. Stay protected. And we'll see you next time.
Right. Bye, everyone. The Prep for the Night podcast is produced by Engaging Arkansas Communities to engage audiences in HIV prevention and education. Since HIV is contracted primarily through sex or by sharing needles, conversations on the podcast often address adult-themed topics which may not be appropriate for younger audiences. Views and opinions expressed in Prep for the Night, including any reference to specific commercial products, manufacturers, companies, or trademarks, does not constitute endorsement or recommendation by Engaging Arkansas Communities, the U.S. government, the Arkansas Department of Health, or the Center for Disease Control Prevention. This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not intended as a substitute for professional medical advice. Always consult with a licensed healthcare provider for guidance on sexual health and related topics.